on that score, I remember you were giving an interview in Cluj on radio, and you actually videotaped, and you said something interesting about the Romanians. You said they kind of think like us.
Yeah.
And having been all around this neighborhood, what do you mean by that when you said they think like us?
I think in some ways, particularly when it comes to security, it's a very pro-American country, as you know, but that's because they get what transatlantic values are about, what democratic values are about. They understand these things. You don't have to. I've been in some places where, frankly, yes, they may be NATO allies, but then you look and think, do they really understand what that means? And what here, this is not an issue at all. I think Romanians innately get that. I think historically, too, it's unfortunate, but historically, Russia's never been a friend. And that means they understand the threat from the East and what NATO needs to do to be strong in order to counter it. And they don't need certainly don't need much explanation for that here. I mean, that's an easy conversation to have. And so in that way, you do see that. I also think economically, one of the reasons I emphasize IT is so many of the leading global firms are American. So many Romanian IT professionals are working for American or Western firms. This has an outsized impact on the mentality of that part of the economy, or those people there in that sector, but also on the electorate. I mean, you see the success of USR Plus in the recent election. Now they're in government. A lot of these folks are young IT professionals who are like oriented in that way. That is really helpful when you're trying to discuss policy issues and discuss all these things with government and with that group of voters. So I think you can see, now in other ways, Romanians are not at all like Americans. I mean, as people from every country are different from one another. So I wouldn't want to overstate that. I'm not trying to, but I think in certain key ways, there are a lot of similarities. Yeah,
I think the fact that they're younger, this new group is younger and more educated and more Western oriented. I mean, you were saying that in essence, that the Romanians want to see us raise our game in the economic sphere the same way we've been in the military sphere.